Hello, boys and girls. We have been asked to do something really special, and that is to write to some residents who live in a home called Portsmouth. And it's a home for elderly people and some people who can't care for themselves. And they are inside like all of us are, and they are inside without family to visit them. Some of those residents are very lonely and they would like to get a letter. So we're going to do letter writing today so that we can write a letter to those residents. When you upload it and give it to me, I am going to also email it to the Portsmouth resident, and then they can print them as real letters or they can give them to them on a device so that they could read the letters. Your letters will bring them joy, and so I just want to encourage you to do a letter after we read this story from Frog and Toad, our friends, called The Letter. The letter. Toad was sitting on his front porch. Frog came along and said, "What is the matter, Toad? You are looking sad." "Yes," said Toad, "this is my sad time of day. It is the time when I wait for the mail to come. It always makes me very unhappy." "Why is that?" asked Frog. "Because I never get any mail." "Not ever?" asked Frog. "No, never," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter. Every day my mailbox is empty. That is why waiting for the mail is a sad time for me." Frog and Toad sat on the porch, feeling sad together. Then Frog said, "I have to go home now, Toad. There is something I must do." Frog hurried home. He found a pencil and a piece of paper. He wrote on the paper. He put the paper in an envelope, and on the envelope he wrote a letter for Toad. Frog ran out of his house. He saw a snail that he knew. "Snail," said Frog, "please take this letter to Toad's house and put it in his mailbox." "Sure," said the snail, "right away." Then Frog ran back to Toad's house. Toad was in bed taking a nap. "Toad," said Frog, "I think you should get up and wait for the mail some more." "No," said Toad, "I am tired of waiting for the mail." Frog looked out of the window at Toad's mailbox. The snail was not there yet. "Toad," said Frog, "you never know when someone may send you a letter." "No, no," said Toad, "I do not think anyone will ever send me a letter." Frog looked out of the window. The snail was not there yet. "But Toad," said Frog, "someone may send you a letter today." "Don't be silly," said Toad. "No one has ever sent me a letter before, and no one will send me a letter today." Frog looked out the window. The snail was still not there. "Frog, why do you keep looking out of the window?" asked Toad. "Because now I am waiting for the mail," said Frog. "But there will not be any," said Toad. "Oh, yes, there will," said Frog, "because I have sent you a letter." "You have?" said Toad. "What did you write in the letter?" Frog said, "I wrote, 'Dear Toad, I am glad that you are my best friend. Your best friend, Frog.'" "Oh," said Toad, "that makes a very good letter." Then Frog and Toad went out onto the front porch to wait for the mail. They sat there, feeling happy, together. Frog and Toad waited a long time. 4 days later, the snail got to Toad's house and gave him the letter from Frog. Toad was very pleased to have it. Toad was feeling sad. Frog wrote him a letter and made him feel better. And we're going to do that for the residents of Portsmouth. So I've written out already how a letter should look. Up at the top, you can put the date. Then you put dear, and we are going to write Dear Pen Pal, just because we don't know the name of the resident. Dear Pen Pal. Hello. Usually you start with a question. How are you? Hello and how are you is a great way to start a letter. So I'm going to use that format, and I'm going to write the date on here, which would be the, I think we're going to do this on Thursday the 30th. So I'm going to write April 30th. And then I'm going to write Dear Pen Pal. And that's all you write on that line. Even though I have extra space, I don't write anything else. You write Dear and the name of who it is, and in this case, it's Pen Pal. Then we're going to write Hello, uppercase H-E-L-L-O, exclamation, how, the ow sound, do you remember it? O-W, like my name. How are you? So there's my first part. April 30th. Dear Pen Pal, hello, how are you? And now I better introduce myself. So I am going to write I am, and I'm going to write a real letter here, so I'll say I am Mrs. Powell, and I teach grade 1. So you might say, I am Patrick, and I am in grade 1. If you want to, you can tell them anything you want. I'm going to write an I like sentence because I want this person to know something about me as a person. I like the outdoors, and I really, R-E-A-L-L-Y, like, and I really like animals. I like the outdoors, and I really like animals. And then I want to know if they have anything in common with me. Do you like animals? So I'll ask a question with a question mark. Which animals? So let's say they say yes. Then my next question would be which animals? Because some people do not like cats, even though they love dogs. I wonder which. I really like animals. Do you like animals? Which animals? And then if I'm running out of room, at the end of your letter, I'd like you to sign your friend. Notice your, it's you with an R. And friend is F-R, and the E-N-D you can hear, it's the I you have to remember. F-R-I-E-N-D. So now I'm going to put your friend, and that's all I put on the line, and usually you put it kind of in the middle, like that. Your friend, Mrs. Powell. So if you write a letter like this, you might want to take some colors and make a little picture on the corner of yourself, or let's say because I like animals, I might make a little picture of a cat or a horse or a dog or whatever I would like to. A little picture of me so they know what I look like. I could draw myself. Or I could just draw a flower. I could draw a sign of spring like green grass, anything at all that you think would cheer someone else up. Remember, we're writing Dear Pen Pal. And at the bottom, when you finish, your friend all by itself on a line, and your name will be at the end. We are going to really cheer up some other people with these letters, just like Frog cheered up Toad. So I look forward to getting those from you. I will send them to Portsmouth, and I am hoping that the people at Portsmouth Home will also write us back, and I'll make sure you get the letter that is for you. Thanks for doing this. You are going to make someone's day.